And we're going to talk to my cousin Ronnie here. He's being the oldest of the grandsons of our grandparents, and he's going to talk about his mother and father and his early memories of living in Detroit.
My mother was a happy person, but she was always very busy because she had to work after she and my dad had separated. My dad's family lived around a couple of blocks away, and we used to visit there and lived there for a short time after they had got married. But they moved out and got their own apartment, and we'd visit Grandma quite often. And Mother finally ended up going to beauty school and getting her license to be a beautician. She opened up her own shop, and it was on 3rd Street, right around the corner from where she was living with Grandma after she got separated from my dad. We had fond memories of the house at Kirby Street. It was a great place to play, and our mother was good to us, and Grandma did the cooking.
Grandma did the cooking, right?
Grandma did the cooking.
Okay. Patsy, being the second daughter in this household, what are your memories of Grandma and the home on Kirby?
I remember that, like Ronnie said, we had lots of fun, and Mama worked close, and so when we really got in bad trouble, like when Shirley cut her toe, Rowena called Mom, and she came from work and took care of it. But I know she had all of us interested in stuff. I was in ballet, and Shirley was in tap dancing. What were you in? What did you do?
I didn't do anything. They wouldn't let me dance.
They wouldn't let you dance?
No, I found out I had 2 left feet. So I still can't, and I can't carry a tune, not even in a bucket.
My mother met my stepfather on a trip to New York, and they got married in the Unity Church, and they had the reception at Grandma's house. And I know us girls wore gray outfits, and no alcohol in the house, but there was a bar close. And Grandpa made sure everybody knew there was a bar close, and he met a fellow bartender or bar greeter, and he brought him, and he was the stranger that came for the reception because that was supposed to be good luck. And then we moved to New Jersey, and my mother worked as a beautician in the Hotel Statler in New York City.
Do you have any memories of that, or were you already gone? What time would you?
No, we first moved to Jersey City, which was right across the river from New York City, and Mother got a job in the Hotel Statler in the Turkish bath section and fixed the people's hair after they had went through the bath. But we lived there for 3 years, and then we moved to the other side of the Palisades to the North Bergen and lived there another 3 years, where Mother was talking about they wanted to get out of the city, get out of the country, and they found a little motel down in Woodstock, Virginia. They made a couple of trips down there to see it and see how it was, and they thought they could afford it. So we all moved to Woodstock in '53, and found out that it really wasn't quite as easy job as they thought it would be. So they lived there for 10 years to '63 when they were building the interstate highway, not being near the one of the exits. You wouldn't get the stops. People that would normally travel the highway took the interstate, so that we lost a lot of business, and and they finally decided to move on, and they moved out to there. I ended up going in the Army, and ended up down in Arlington, Virginia, where I lived for 42 years there.
Sure.
Okay, my half-sister Roberta had asthma real bad, and they sent her to my older sister Shirley. She lived in Idaho to see if on the other side of the Mississippi, if the air was easier for her to breathe. We stayed there 1 year, and then we moved to Colorado. When they were in Colorado, Mama went to nursing school. She became an LPN. She said, I always did want to wear a white uniform. And she was a good nurse. When she was there, she took care of this one elderly lady, and her son was a dentist, and that's where she got her false teeth, and they lasted her all the rest of her life.
Shirley lived in Colorado at the time, and that's why she wanted Mother to come live near her, so she could, help her and look out for her, and that's how they got in. And then Shirley and Carl moved away down to Texas, and Mother stayed in Colorado, and eventually, as Jim's health was not getting so good, they decided that they would move down to Texas to be near Shirley again. So they moved to Texas, and that's where they stayed until Jim passed away, and then and I think it was 1990, and Mother lived there, and Shirley kept an eye on her, and then when Mother got so she needed help, she moved into a nursing home and lived there for about 3 years before she passed on.
And what year would that have been?
She passed on in 2007, and she was buried there in Texas next to Jim.
And she would have been the longest surviving of the original 5 children that came out of New Brunswick, correct?
As far as yeah. She was the last one.
How old was she when she passed?
She was 91. So she lived to a ripe old age, and her mind was still sharp right to the very end.
As a closing thing, one of the things I want to say about our Aunt Muriel, your mother, is she was the tie between the family. She wrote to all of the grandchildren, all of the nieces and nephews, and we could always count on getting letters from her. She was great at writing letters, wasn't she?
Yes, she loved to write letters. She even had to write letters to prisoners and everything else like that.
Well, that's the life and times of Muriel McCafferty
Benedict
Santangelo. Very good. Thank you.